Welcome to the 2019 Trinity School Kids Conference presentation. This year it is on why do geographers go outside? And I'm going to hand over to the presenters Talia Blake, Lily Bevan and Jack Carter.
Welcome to Trinity School's Kids Conference presentation for 2019. For the past 4 years, we have aimed to showcase how the Geography department at our school continues to provide opportunities for students to complete fieldwork or engage with other technologies to extend our learning. This is often centred on A-level students, but this year we are looking at why it is important for geographers of all ages to go outside of the classroom.
At Trinity, fieldwork is still a key component of the geography curriculum. Many schools across the country are now restricting fieldwork opportunities for a number of reasons, be it cost, health and safety, or perception that young people do not want to do traditional fieldwork anymore. A concern today is that there is a belief that young people who are now so technologically connected to the rest of the world do not need to go out and see the geographic features or phenomenons. Google Street View, Instagram and other platforms allow images from all over the world to be seen easily. And it has never been more straightforward to see all corners of the world look like. Even television programmes such as David Attenborough's 7 Worlds, 1 Planet, a new documentary series on UK TV, if you can't see it yet, hopefully it will reach Australia soon, makes use of drone technology to show viewers the natural world and impacts of climate change on various ecosystems as never seen before.
Though these images and visuals can be used to amaze and inspire young geographers, showing videos and pictures can only go so far. We are lucky to be at a school where getting us out of the classroom is central to how we learn. If we are going to truly develop a detailed understanding of how our world works, you have got to go and see these things with your own eyes and experience being a part of these environments we are learning about.
At Trinity, our fieldwork experiences start in Year 8 with a trip to Durdle Door on the Jurassic Coast in southern England. This ties in with the work that the students do on coasts. Being taught how coastal features such as arches are created and processes such as mass movement take on a new understanding when visiting this location. As well as seeing these spectacular features, the Year 8s get introduced into basic fieldwork techniques such as field sketches to get them to consider key features of the landscape. After the visit, students return to school to write up their fieldwork notes to explain how the coastal features at Durdle Door were created. Student engagement is always so much higher and the retention of key information more effective after seeing the landscape in person.
If students opt for GCSE Geography, Trinity does more fieldwork than most schools. The GCSE syllabus directs students to a minimum of 2 days fieldwork, 1 physical and 1 human. At Trinity, we do 3 trips. The first one at Hurst Castle Spit near Bournemouth, again on the south coast of England. In this location, students apply their knowledge of how depositional landforms are created by seeing a spit, but use more sophisticated techniques such as beach profiles, sediment samples and measuring longshore drift. Fieldwork equipment such as ranging poles, clinometers and quadrats are also introduced, as students start to take more ownership of their geographical inquiry. On top of this, Hurst Castle is a stunning location, and for a number of students this may be the first time since they have been anywhere like this, so there is a sense of real exploration.
Secondly, at GCSE, students are taken to the River Pang, a tributary of the River Thames, the river that flows through London, and relatively local to our school. Students are able to put waders on and work in the river all day, which always increases the enjoyment of being in the natural world. Students complete classic river techniques, such as measuring the width and depth, velocity and metaperimeter. Their knowledge is built on by adding more equipment such as flow meters, which increases their awareness of what geographers can measure in physical environments.
Finally, our human geography at GCSE, we focus on where we live in Newbury. We look at the concepts such as reurbanisation and redevelopment of our town, but looking at the impacts of new retail opportunities, how the town is growing and the various impacts that follow on from this. The methods that students learn here are very different from those carried out in physical fieldworks. We focus on environmental quality surveys, questionnaires and decibel counts which present the students with different challenges.
The final stage of fieldwork at Trinity is where we are today. Our A-level students spend 6 days in 4 very different locations. In Year 12, we take our knowledge of fieldwork techniques that we were taught at GCSE and apply them to glaciated landscapes in Snowdonia in North Wales and the urban environment of Liverpool. We study glaciation as a topic. It is complex and very technical, so seeing the various features of a glaciated area such as corries and arêtes bring all theory to life. For a number of us, this was our first experience of seeing mountains. Part of this experience is staying at the youth hostel at the base of Mount Snowdon, one of the UK's highest mountains. It was raining and there was a lot of localised flooding when we went. It was hard to escape the aura of being in such a breathtaking place.
Liverpool is a total contrast to Snowdonia. The hustle and bustle of the city is so far removed from our daily lives in Newbury. And again, some of the people in our group had very little experience of seeing the UK cities outside of the southeast of England. We look at Liverpool as a case study and use part of it to visit the Albert Docks to see how Liverpool has preserved this amazing location to continue to use its heritage as a part of its identity.
Summer between Year 12 and 13, our fieldwork skills are really put to the test. We have to design our own fieldwork to collect data for our coursework, or NEA as we call it in the UK. We use our knowledge of designing geographic inquiries to study an area of our choice and investigate a geographic question. At Trinity, we have been taught to be able to do this independently to allow us to explore a topic which we're really finding interesting. For me and Lily, we have studied 2 physical topics. Talia, that's me, went back to Snowdonia to collect data on post-glacial features in a valley near to Snowdon. And Lily returned to Durdledore to compare how the geology has created different types of beaches in a very small area. Without being shown how to conduct fieldwork throughout school, we would not have been as successful as we have in our own inquiries.
A sad point for us is that we have now finished our fieldwork at Trinity. Several weeks ago, we spent 3 days in Somerset and Devon in the southwest of England. We spent a day in Exeter, again looking at the identity of a city, and then travelled into Dartmoor, where we was working around the river to look at the infiltration rates, which will help us with our learnings on the water cycle. There has been a bit of a pattern with our fieldwork trips, as the trip also experienced some huge amounts of rainfall, and in fact we was in one of the wettest locations in the UK when we was there. The water cycle was definitely in action.
What we have tried to do is showcase how lucky we are to experience so many different fieldwork opportunities. But to give the final thought to the title of this presentation, Why Do Geographers Go Outside?, there are many answers. Going to these places capture imagination to make young people question the world they are part of. Small steps on early fieldwork may lead to world-changing theories and research in the future which may have huge positives for the environment or society.
For us though, there is a very simple answer. Geographers go outside because that's what geographers are meant to do.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.